Still trying to figure this entering thing out. I'm on a rolling chair now, which is kind of fun. It's looking like this works. Also, lots of different points of adjustment, which is super fun. Yeah. Well, it's been an exceptionally difficult month. I feel like just getting to this point here has almost been its own act of survival. I'm tired, and this is kind of the last thing that I want to be doing right now. I'm at a motel in Culver City for a few days because I have a few major doctor appointments out here that are kind of the accumulation of a 5-year journey of some pretty crazy things that have been going on with my personal health. I'm thankful, but at the same time, I just feel like so many people in my life right now, me included, are just going through it, from personal to health to relationships to projects to business to marriages to everything in between. It's just been a non-stop uphill battle, and I am exhausted, and I'm exhausted for the people in my life right now. And coming up here and doing this while having other huge things to tend to is tough. But I think there's such a beauty to showing up, whether things are good or not, because in its own sense, that is kind of a reflection of the human experience. So you have to breathe. At the beginning of 2026, I set out to put a handful of different things into motion. Firstly, I wanted to bring some focus to my production company. Then from that, I wanted to start creating spaces in the areas that I work and areas that I'm connected to, where I can just kind of start to cultivate creative community with the people that I love. I've been developing some cool software and hardware projects with a longtime friend of mine, which has been so fun. I've been trying a social media experiment that attempts to bottle up the messages that the universe gives us and puts that out into the world, as well as these videos, and just showing up for my own storytelling journey and watching the evolution of that. At this point, everything has started to materialize. It started to put itself into action. And for me, as beautiful as that is, it's also the most agonizing thing ever, because as things start to form, all of a sudden I feel like I can't control the how of how they form, because it starts to happen in ways that I kind of planned, and it also happens in ways that I entirely couldn't plan at all. And to me, the unplanned is absolutely terrifying. As things grow, I feel like I'm losing control. So in that, the easiest way to try and regain any sense of control is to just burn it all to the ground, right? Because if it goes back to that idea state, it's full of potential and also free of any possibility of failure or any possibility of turning into anything good. And I also think that's kind of the basis in which self-doubt starts to form, right? Not that the thing that you're doing is even wrong or isn't going to work out, it's that doubt comes in and simply protects you from the uncertainty of the thing, right? It's like, wow, you shouldn't be the one doing this because you can't control it. Therefore, it's uncertain. Therefore, it's bad. Therefore, it must be burned to the ground. And that is the brutally self-destructive pattern of thought that my brain likes to arrive to, right? There's a logic to destruction that's almost elegant in a very dark kind of way that basically says, well, you can't mess this up if it doesn't exist in the first place, so leave it in your head where it can stay perfect, or burn it all to the ground. So I think so much of the chaos of this month has been where the things have been kicked into motion, but you don't have to burn them down. You have to be in this messy middle as it grows and evolves. In this mindset of, I'm not going to abandon this, I'm going to keep working with it and showing up until it becomes the thing that it needs to be. It's interesting when you parallel this concept to relationships, right? You find the love of your life, you get married, you enter into a beautiful commitment with them, and then all of a sudden things don't work out the way you thought they were going to. So you have two options. One, you work it out or 2, you just exit the relationship entirely. But in this case, it's just you on your own again without your partner. And I think for a lot of people, that is a real option. And for many others, they choose to stay in and make it work because they recognize that there's beauty in the mess and in the evolution of what it is going to become. I feel like that feeling of shock that we often so quickly map to this is bad is actually kind of like an ice bath, right? It's like stepping into cold water. It's not necessarily that the thing is wrong. It's actually just your nervous system in the process of reacting to a new thing in a new environment. And in that case, your nervous system will be screaming at you, but it doesn't mean that your nervous system is perceiving a bad thing. I think it's just simply adjusting to something that is new and unknown. So again, you stay in the thing over time, and in this process, things start to regulate and you start to become accustomed to the new. So I think there's this underlying component of being patient with the process that actually connects to the idea of evolution and where something is going. It's not bad, you're simply uncomfortable. And that's a truth that has been a brutal, brutal process learning these past few weeks. I really wanted to start this video saying, thanks guys, it's been fun burning this all to the ground. See you whenever. But we're not gonna do that. And though that puts me back in the driver's seat in full control, that can't be the answer. That's not how anything meaningful actually gets built. And that's not how we move forward into the way that we make our mark on the world. So we're still here, the thing still exists. We don't need to burn it all to the ground. And we're here just learning how to be patient in the process, regardless of our ability to see the entire thing mapped out in front of us. It's difficult, but it's good. Glad we're still here. Excited to see where this all goes.